He commands legions. He controls the wealth of nations, and his word is law across 3 continents. Now imagine that same man sitting alone in his tent on the Danubian frontier. The air is cold. The smell of wood smoke and wet iron hangs heavy around him. He opens his journal, not to record his victories, but to remind himself that he is nothing. Now look at your hand. You're holding a device that contains more information than the Library of Alexandria ever did, and more distraction than a Roman Colosseum at full roar. But there is a silent war happening in your pocket. A war for the only thing Marcus Aurelius believed was truly yours: your attention. If the emperor walked into your room today and saw you endlessly scrolling through a feed of strangers, vanity, and manufactured outrage, he wouldn't just be disappointed. He would be horrified. He would see a man or woman willingly fastening the chains of a slave around their own wrists. This isn't just about quitting Instagram. This is a philosophical autopsy of the digital age. We're going to explore why the last great emperor would see your smartphone not as a tool, but as the greatest threat to your inner freedom ever invented, and why your sanity may depend on stepping away from it. Part 1. The architecture of the digital cage, the dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius lived by one central pillar: the dichotomy of control. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Social media operates in direct opposition to this principle. It is a system engineered to make you obsess over what you cannot control. You cannot control the algorithm. You cannot control the opinions of strangers on the other side of the planet. You cannot control the carefully curated, picture-perfect lives presented by influencers. Yet you engage. And in doing so, you practice a form of mental negligence. You train your brain to become reactive instead of disciplined. Every notification becomes a tiny psychological hook, pulling your attention away from your inner citadel and dragging it outward in search of validation. Marcus would ask you a simple question: why are you giving your mind away for free to people who don't even know you exist? Part 2. The vanity of the digital mask, character versus reputation. The Stoics were obsessed with truth, not surface truth, but the raw reality of what things actually are. Social media is a world of shadows, a theater of ego. When you post online, you don't show your life. You present an edited highlight reel, carefully crafted to provoke admiration, envy, or approval. It is a digital mask. Marcus Aurelius had a brutal exercise for dissolving vanity. He would look at luxurious purple robes and reduce them to their essence. This is merely sheep's wool dyed with the blood of a shellfish. He would look at a lavish feast and strip it of illusion. This is just a dead bird. Now imagine what he would say about your aesthetic feed. This is just pixels arranged to impress the lonely. This is a ghost seeking approval from other ghosts. He would delete the apps without hesitation, because he understood a dangerous truth. The more you obsess over your reputation, the less you develop your character. You cannot serve both image and integrity. You cannot chase applause and cultivate discipline at the same time. At some point, you must choose. You cannot cultivate integrity while simultaneously craving likes. Part 3. The theft of Memento Mori, how social media steals your time. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. Marcus Aurelius lived with the constant awareness that he was dying. He had 13 children. Only a few survived. He ruled during the devastation of the Antonine Plague. Death was not an abstract idea to him, it was a daily companion. He understood that every second wasted in distraction was a second stolen from destiny. The infinite scroll is the modern assassin of Memento Mori. It creates the illusion of endless time. You open your phone for a moment, and 2 hours vanish into nothingness. Those hours will never return. They are gone, irretrievable. If you told Marcus that people in the future would voluntarily spend 4 hours a day watching short clips of strangers dancing, shouting, or performing for attention, he would not see entertainment. He would see surrender. He would see a civilization drifting into a voluntary coma. Part 4. The corruption of the social animal, pseudo-connection. The Stoics believed humans are social beings by nature. The concept of oikiosis teaches that we are born with an instinct to connect, to cooperate, and to serve the common good. But social media does not strengthen this instinct. It distorts it. It creates pseudo-connection, the appearance of closeness without the substance of it. You can have thousands of followers and still feel profoundly alone. You can argue with strangers across the globe while ignoring the person sitting across from you. Marcus believed in contributing to society through action, not argument. He would see endless debates on digital platforms as a tragic misuse of human potential, energy spent generating noise instead of building something real. Connection without presence is illusion. Engagement without responsibility is emptiness. Part 5. The War on Stillness. The Inner Citadel versus Notifications. Marcus Aurelius spoke often of the inner citadel, the fortified space within your mind that no external force can invade without your permission. But what happens when you carry the invasion force in your pocket? Marcus began his mornings preparing himself mentally for the challenges of the day. Many people today begin their mornings by checking notifications, inviting comparison, outrage, and anxiety into their minds before they even leave their beds. How can you cultivate an inner sanctuary when your phone allows the entire world to scream inside your head at 3 a.m.? Stillness is not laziness. Silence is not emptiness. It is in boredom, in the absence of stimulation, that clarity emerges. But the digital world wages war against boredom, because boredom is where independent thought is born. Part 6. The Practical Rebellion. The Stoic Digital Fast. Rebellion does not begin with outrage. It begins with discipline. Don't simply delete the apps in a moment of frustration. Replace them with something stronger. Replace them with philosophy, with reading, with reflection, with deliberate thought. Practice a digital fast. Step back and adopt the Stoic view from above. Imagine looking at the internet from a cosmic perspective, from the height of the stars. Observe how small it truly is, how insignificant the trending topics appear against the vastness of time and space. Most of what feels urgent online dissolves under the weight of eternity. The emperor's final verdict, Marcus Aurelius, would not delete social media because he was old-fashioned. He would delete it because he was the guardian of his own mind. He understood a simple truth. A person without control over their attention is not free. They are a puppet. The strings are algorithms. The puppeteers are corporations. And the prize they compete for is your life. So put the phone down. Look at the wall. Look at the trees. Feel the discomfort of boredom. Stay there. Because in that silence, in that stillness, you will finally hear the voice you have been drowning out for years.